What is a seemingly mundane question you can ask somebody that will tell you a lot about their personality? Saving this thread for my next human interaction. I foresee much less awkward silence. Wish me luck. What was the last thing you did that gave you childlike joy? My 14-year-old asked for a longboard last spring. I'd said no before because I figured it'd be something I spend a few $100 on that she'd try once, not be good at right away, and never touch it again. It wouldn't be the first time. After being locked up for 2 months with quarantine, I figured why not? It gets her outside and maybe something she'll enjoy. At that point I just wanted to get her out of her room and off her phone. I'd never seen her work so hard at something she wasn't good at right away. After 2 back-to-back 6-hour days of practice, she started to get the hang of it and asked me if I wanted to try. I couldn't even stand on a board when I was a kid. But as an adult I just got it. I wasn't on it 5 minutes and I said, I need one. We left right then and picked one up for myself. We cruised all spring, summer, and fall. Not only was it great for bonding, I hadn't felt that kind of joy since I was little. A moment I'll never forget. Can't wait for the snow to melt. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. First, I'm impressed she practiced for so many hours. Second, I love that you got it and wanted to go get one so you could do it together. Got this one in an interview once. How do you go about eating a muffin? Learned a lot about muffin anatomy that day. It was a bakery after all. Undefined. Edit 2. Also known as stumps. Yes. This was a highfalutin place, so they preferred to refer to them as stems. Oh. I knew a guy at uni that sat at his desk, naked, and just slammed his face down into M like a dog eating out of a bowl. Guy was weird AF. I knew a guy. Sure you did. Naked muffin eating man. What does HP stand for? Hewlett-Packard? I had a TA ask me in a get-to-know-you activity what my vision was for a perfect world. And I said round lol. That would have been awkward if your TA was a flat earther. What would you do if you won the lottery? For me, it's a non-invasive way of listening to people's attitudes on finance in general. And also how they feel about the rich. Yes. This is a brilliant question. When I was newly dating my ex-boyfriend, it was around the time Super Lotto hit 1 billion a couple years ago. We were both in lottery ticket pools and discussed what we'd do if we won. His answer mortified me. It included how, if he were married, he'd divorce his wife and travel the world on a yacht doing drugs surrounded by hot women. Big red flag for me. Wow. Of all the things, that is definitely something you don't say to your girlfriend. The real lotto win was finding this out early in the relationship. What superpower they want? I know there are more powerful powers that could get me wealth or whatever, but man, teleportation would be dope. Can travel the world but always sleep in your own bed and never need to book a flight. Never need to use a public restroom. Easily visit family. Only take road trips if I want. Can live and work anywhere. The rest of life could be normal, but it'd be great. Work? Bro, teleport in and out of bank vault. Isn't there a movie called Jumper about this exact concept? I'd recommend it. Did I just see you digging through the trash? I didn't know we were playing Stardew Valley. Peep you, Alex. I hate you anyways. It's usually Lewis that catches me. I somehow never notice that he's standing right in front of his house. Lamau. What book would you like to live in? A really big one. Practical. I see. What are you having for dinner tonight? It's really cool to hear about what people like, what their culture is like, because food is a huge part of that. And generally just how they live. Expensive or cheap? Quick or elaborate? Adventurous or safe? Ham. Mustard. Maybe some baby carrots if they aren't bad yet. I might try to make that garlic bread, but it's been in the freezer for like 3 years now. Does Mike Wazowski blink or wink? Depends on how he's holding his mouth. You are truly one of the great thinkers of our time. My father-in-law went on a job interview about 10 years ago and absolutely nailed the interview. As he was being shown around the office, a high-level person in that company who normally wasn't there just happened to be there that day. After they were introduced, he asked my Phil what kind of animal he would be. My Phil said he panicked and picked bear. He's a bigger guy, and the other guy said something along the lines of, "That's a little too aggressive, maybe this isn't the job for you." So he didn't get the job, but I guess it worked out because he's got a pretty good job now, and if I was him I wouldn't want to work for someone who hires people based on what animal they think they would be. Bullet dodged. That sounds like an awful place to work. Same thought. If a company would kick you out for everything good but one minor choice, I don't think working there will be happy. Good boss know the strength and weakness of the colleagues. One failure do not necessarily mean bad. Undefined. Are you in favor of homeowner associations? This is a good one because everyone who is familiar with them has such strong reactions. Yeah, I knew a guy that was a coworker in a different department. Apparently he was on the HOA board in his neighborhood and loved it. He was a total ass peep at work, so I knew that he terrorized his neighbors. Just moved to a community with an HOA and holy peeping speep, I want to carpet bomb the chairman's house. Classic douchebag rich HOA chairman straight out of a 90s sitcom. We had to tear out concrete for a little basketball area on the south side of our house because, and I'm not kidding on this, he just didn't want to have concrete outside of his bedroom window view. He wrote the covenant rules so that he can veto and order any landscaping project on behest of the HOA chairman. Fave question I heard in an interview. What would you do if you came home and found a penguin in your freezer? It ends up not only being an icebreaker, but a good personality tell. Is the penguin dead or alive? African penguin or European penguin? How do you know so much about penguins? As a kid, what was your go-to selection from the ice cream truck? Disappointment because we were too poor to get ice cream from the truck. The cheapest thing they offered because my dad insisted on getting me something even though I knew we couldn't really afford it. But it made him happy to get me a treat. ETA, thanks for all the awards, folks. I feel like I should celebrate with an off-brand Otter Pop. Where were you the night of the murder? Which one? I'm going to need you to be more specific. This was a good answer. That's how I'm responding every time now. Except when I'm talking to the police, of course. Ask them what they like to cook for breakfast. Does coffee count as cooking breakfast? Asking for a friend. A vanilla soy latte is technically a 3-bean soup. If this isn't a brilliant shower thought, then I don't know what is. What soup they like? Vanilla soy latte. I see you made it this far down. Love the reference from the same thread. Do you prefer night or day? Night. It's calm and peaceful. I very much enjoy my alone time. And night when everyone's asleep is the best. What do you know Tim Curry from? Undefined. What is a seemingly mundane question you can ask somebody that will tell you a lot about their personality? You and Op are peeping genius. They should go out on a date. They'll probably just keep asking this question over and over again. My husband used to work for Bed Bath and blah blah. He told me part of his job was to put carts away. He said that was his favorite part about the job. Wasting time walking around the parking lot finding carts and putting them away. He got to be outside. Chill by himself. Not have to deal with other worse tasks, etc. Of course this story only came up after I gave him some speep for not putting the cart back one time. This story was his elaborate rationale for not putting a cart back and to prove he was in fact a nice, normal, compassionate human. Normally. A fastidious cart returner? I started to leave my cart, thinking I was actually being nice and even more compassionate than ever before. I probably only did it 25x until I realized he's just an ass peep, who has now made me into an even bigger ass peep. I now get to think about how much we are both ass peeps in our own ways every time I return a cart. So I do a lot of the speepty work at my job by choice, because it's preferable to my actual job. Leave a like and a comment if you liked the video. Check out more Reddit related video, I am posting them daily. Subscribe to see more Reddit content.